It's Miss Hanna here, and I've got some more stories for you tonight. Are you all set and ready to read? All right, well, tonight's story time is going to be about colors. So I got a lot of really fun books that deal with different colors that we can read about. Now, my first book that we're reading today is called The Blue House by Phoebe Wall. Ready? Here we go. The Blue House by Phoebe Wall. Now we see our pretty picture. Leo lived with his dad in an old blue house next to a tall fir tree. Now, can you tell me which house is the one that Leo lives in? He lives in an old blue house. You guessed it. That's it. The paint was peeling. The roof was mossy. There were leaks and creaks, and when the wind blew, the whole thing shook. But it was theirs. Leo loved the blue house in winter with its hiding places and cozy spaces. When the old heater broke, they would have a pie just to warm up the kitchen. They would dance. Leo loved the blue house in the summer. With its garden full of raspberries and tomatoes, he would play in the yard until the sun went down. Lately, there was all kinds of construction going on in the neighborhood. Big new apartments were going to go up next door and across the road. Leo would watch the backhoes and the trucks out of his window. They looked like tiny toys. There's Leo's dad. Wonder what's happening. I'm worried ours will be next, he heard his dad say on the phone one night, but Leo knew his dad was wrong. The blue house would be theirs forever. One day, Leo's dad picked him up from school, but instead of going home, they got ice cream and went to the beach. I got a letter from the landlord today, Leo's dad said. They've sold our house and it's going to be torn down. I'm sorry, Bud, we're going to have to move. Leo was angry. How could someone just take their house away? He kicked and screamed and locked himself in his room. They couldn't tear it down if he never came out. Sorry, take a minute. Here we go. But Leo got hungry and after a while went down for dinner. I'm angry too, his dad said. So, after they ate, they danced and stomped and raged together. They shredded on guitar, and Leo did a special scream solo. It made both of them a little less mad. Soon, the blue house began to fill up with boxes. Every day, another familiar object was packed away. When the blue house was empty, it was an echoey and drafty like a hollow shell. The walls look so naked, said Leo. Let's paint on them, said his dad. It made both of them a little less sad. The new house felt empty too. It didn't feel like home. I hate it, said Leo. That's okay, said his dad. Do you know what color their new house is? That's it. It's white. One day, Leo and his dad walked by the hole where the blue house had been. When they shut their eyes, they could see it clearly, hear every floorboard's creak and the drip of the faucet's leak. But when they opened them again, their home was gone. There's the hole. And there's them imagining their home, their blue house. That night, Leo lay in bed staring at the empty walls of his new room, and he had an idea. "What if we painted it?" Leo said. "Good thinking," said his dad, and then together they mixed the perfect shade of blue. And it made them both feel a little more at home. Little by little, familiar objects began to appear in the new house. After school one day, Leo and his dad baked a pie in the kitchen. And that night, they unpacked the stereo and danced and stomped and sang until it was time for bed. Leo had been right. The blue house would be theirs forever, and with each passing day, the new house was becoming theirs too. And that, my friends, is the end. All right, well, that was a fun book. It helps us know what we need to do sometimes when things change, and that it's okay to be sad or upset. And a lot of the times your parents can help you. Now, my next book is called The World Needs More Purple People, and it's by Kristen Bell and Benjamin Hart. Let's find out what they mean. The world needs more purple people. And let's read what she says. She says, "Hey kid, I've got a secret. It's gonna knock your socks off, and I can't wait to share it with you." Ta-da! Follow my guide to become a purple person. How to be a purple person by Penny. Now, you may be asking yourself, why in the whole wide world would I want to be purple? Purple is a magic color made when red and blue work together. I think all the best things in the world are purple. But what you're probably wondering, what does that have to do with people? Wow, are you a genius? Because you're already on your way to becoming a purple person, and you want to know why? Step 1, ask really great questions. My dad says purple people ask great questions. Questions about everything, even questions about questions. Hey Dad, how far away is outer space? Have you ever met a dolphin? How many dolphins live in outer space? Now, purple questions are the kind that help you learn something really big about the world or something really small about another person. How tall is the world's tallest rainbow? What's your bear's name? Charlie. Dad says the more purple questions you ask, the more purple you become. How many do you think there are? He also says I can only ask him 20 questions about space dolphins a day. Tweet! Step 2, laugh a lot. My grandma says purple people laugh a lot. We are always laughing together. I mean, like snot out of our nose laughing. Have you ever laughed like that? I totally have. Sometimes something's so funny that you need a tissue. We laugh at books. We laugh at jokes. How do you make a tissue dance? Put a little boogie in it. Ah ha ha ha. We laugh at donkey dances and hairy elephant knees. Ha ha ha, hee ha. And especially laugh at Grandpa's funny noises. Ha ha ha, ha ha ha. Purple laughing helps us remember the things that we share and forget what we thought made us different. And it's almost impossible to be angry when you're laughing. Try it. I dare ya. Grandma says, the more purple people laughing you do, the more purple you become. She also says Grandpa's noises are her favorite funny noises in the whole wide world. Step 3, use your voice and don't lose your voice. My mom says purple people use their voice and don't lose their voice. She encourages me to use my voice to sing. My dad is the one with the hairy chest who loves me more than all the rest. To give good ideas, let's wear monster costumes to school. And to share my opinions, I personally feel like we shouldn't have to eat Brussels sprouts because they smell like sweaty socks. Sometimes people lose their voice, and that's okay. It happens. A purple voice helps someone who is having trouble finding their own voice. Purple people don't just speak up, they also listen. Maybe you could tell them you don't like it when they call you that name. Want me to help you tell them? Mom says the more you use a purple voice, the more purple you become. Mom, can you help me with my play? She also says she heard my opinion on Brussels sprouts, but I still have to eat them. I'm going to work on a better argument. Step 4, work hard, super duper hard. My grandpa says purple people know how to dig in and get stuff done. He and I like to work hard while we build things, and while we learn things, and while we grow things. Purple is the kind of work that's done together to change something that needs changing. What do we want? More playgrounds. When do we want them? No. It fixes something that needs fixing or helps someone who needs helping. Now, Grandpa says the more purple work you do, the more purple you become. He also says that no purple work has ever been done while sitting on your backside sipping strawberry lemonade. Okay, are you ready for the last step? Are you ready? Are you sure? Are you sure you're sure? Are you really, really ready? Okay, drum roll, please. Step 5. Paint yourself purple. Whoop. Somebody had a little fun with that purple paint. Just kidding. That's not the way to become a purple person. Actually, being a purple person has nothing to do with what you look like. My teacher says purple people look all sorts of ways. They are big and small, old and young. Some wear cool coats, some wear shorts with lots of pockets, and some wear funny hats. She says some purple people feel blue sometimes and red other times. And some purple people even have green hair. Step 5. Just be the real you. Like my teacher always says, purple people come in every color you can dream up and every size you can think of. The only way to be purple is to just be you, because you're the only you we've got. So, those are my surefire steps to turning into a purple person. Hey, wait a minute. Well, I'll be a llama's mama. You've been beautifully purple this whole time. I sure am glad you're a purple person. Mama? Because the world needs more purple people, just like you. And that, my friends, is the end of The World Needs More Purple People. So now, for our next book, we're going to read something called Little Green Donkey. And this one's by Anuska Alipos. Little Green Donkey. Hello there, I'm Little Donkey, and I love eating grass. Grass is my absolute favorite. My mom is always trying to get me to eat more foods. Little Donkey, please have a tiny taste, she says. No thanks, I say. A life of eating grass is just fine for me. Grass is just so juicy and so zingy, so sweet and tangy, flavory, fresh and green. Even my pillow is made of grass so that when I wake up I can start eating right away. I really am the happiest little donkey when my tummy is full of grass. Grass makes me very full and very thirsty. Time for a drink of water. Ooh, ooh, grass, you are so green. In the sun, you have a sheen. I like to eat you day and night. Just give me one more juicy bite. What has happened? Is that me? Am I green? My ears, my tummy, my arms, my legs, my tail. They're all green. I'm a gigantic herb. Oh no, my mom will find out that I have eaten too much grass. What can I do? Aha, this mud will hide the green, and these leaves will help. Yes, nobody will ever guess I'm a genius. Little donkey, you're all green, says Mom. You have finally eaten too much grass. It's really time to try and eat some new foods. I bet you'll like them just as much as grass, she says. I'm not convinced there's anything more delicious than grass. Blah! Oranges are too juicy. Pew, 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 pew. Watermelon is full of seeds. Broccoli is too green. Yuck. Apples, no thank you. Grapes. Carrots. Carrots are so delicious. Such orangey, crunchy, crispy amazingness. Carrots are my favorite. And guys, what color are carrots? Yep, they're orange. Uh-oh. Carrots make me very full and very thirsty. Time for a drink of water. Carrots, you are so crunchy. Carrots make me feel so munchy. Carrots for you and carrots for me. Carrots, oh carrots are all I can see. There he is. Uh-oh. Great. So now he is an orange donkey. And that is the end. Now I have one more book for you. Just one. And this one you're going to really love because this is a friend of yours. I know. Everybody loves this guy. It's Pete the Cat, Crayons Rock. And it's by Kimberly and James Dean. Pete the Cat, Crayons Rock. Pete loves his big box of groovy crayons. He loves to draw things like cars, trucks, flowers, and trees. And most of all, the big blue sea. From rockin' red to cool cat blue. With a box of crayons, there's nothing Pete can't do. And one day, Pete decided to draw something new. His friends. Using lots of colors is so much fun. Pete wanted to use every one. He scribbled and drew a great big smile. His drawings were groovy and rockin' with style. All right, here we go. Crayons rock! Pete was so proud of the pictures he drew, he hoped his friends would dig them too. Pete showed Grumpy Toad first. Grumpy Toad said, "This doesn't look right. Those colors are way too bright." Is that a nice thing to say to someone who has drawn you a pretty picture? No, you don't want to tell them it's not right. Art is the way that you make it, and you can make it any way you like. And Pete thought, hey, no sweat, that's all right. The next one will be dynamite. For Gus from Pete is what his next little sign says. Pete showed Gus his picture too. Gus asked, "Who is this supposed to be? It doesn't really look like me." Is that a nice thing to say to someone who's drawn a picture? No. If you don't know what their picture is about, something nice you can say before you say something like, "I don't know what this is about," say, "Can you tell me about your picture?" Pete thought, hey, no sweat, that's all right. The next one will be just right. For Callie from Pete. Pete finally showed Callie her picture. Oh, that one's beautiful. Callie said, "This one is fine, but it feels like something is missing from mine." Again, that's another thing we don't say about somebody's work. You don't tell them, "Oh, something's missing." And Pete said, "What a mess. Bummer, I guess my drawings aren't the best." And Pete started to frown and he put his crayons down. In art class, the teacher asked Pete, "What are you going to make?" "I don't know, I'm afraid of making a mistake." Pete looked around. Gus drew the coolest superheroes. Callie's flowers were awesome, out of sight. Grumpy's motorcycle was just right, and Pete's heart sank. His paper was blank. The gang looked at Pete and said, "No sweat, it's all right. It doesn't have to be just right. Your art is cool because it's you. Your art is so unique. Grab your groovy box of crayons, show us your technique." That's something nice to say to someone. The teacher agreed. Art should be fun. Art is for everyone. From rockin' red to cool cat blue, with a box of crayons, there's nothing you can't do. And Pete smiled. There are no rules. It's no big deal. Art is about how it makes you feel. Pete loved his cool art. That's the one thing Pete knew. And suddenly, Pete knew exactly what to do. He tried again. Instead of drawing them one by one, Pete drew the whole gang just having fun. That's a nice school bus, isn't it? It's a gorgeous picture. And wow, way to go, Pete. That's a rockin' masterpiece. And Grumpy Toad, Gus, and Callie agreed Pete's picture was off the charts. See, that's the groovy thing about art. The best art comes from the heart. Crayons rock. That is the end of Pete the Cat's Crayons Rock. Now, I hope you enjoyed my story time full of stories with color in them. And I hope that you guys are all snuggled in. You've got your toothpaste and your teeth brushed, and now it's time for bed. So I hope you have a great night, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Good night.